Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am tonight's entertainment, and we're going to be talking about freaks. Like me. Get this. After the success of Universal's original Dracula in 1931, MGM approached its director, Todd Browning, to make the scariest film ever made. So what did Browning do? He gathered real circus sideshow performers from all over the country and made the movie Freaks. The movie so shocking that MGM was sued by one audience member who claimed that seeing the movie gave her a miscarriage. This movie is so controversial that there are still cities in the United States where it's illegal to even show it. Just a word of warning before we begin. Some of the people in this movie do look very disturbing. If you'd rather not subject yourself to that kind of imagery, now would probably be the best time to click on something else. For the rest of you, let's take a look at Freaks. Our movie begins in, where else, a circus sideshow, where we see a barker introducing us to the most horrific attraction in his show.
Friends, she was once a beautiful woman. A royal prince shot himself for love of her.
He was the Prince of Nigeria, so you know my story is true. He goes on telling her story, where she was once a trapeze artist who knew a thing or two about turning heads.
She's the most beautiful big woman I have ever seen. Why, hon, how you talk. I should be jealous pretty soon. Oh, Frida, my dear, I have eyes for only one woman. The woman I asked to be my wife.
And no, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. Hans here actually is from the Lollipop Guild. Cleopatra here flirts with Hans for a bit, right in front of Frida. Nice job showing your devotion to your fiancé, little man. And then we cut to the next day, where we see some of the other freaks are having some time to themselves.
Go away, all of you! Don't you know trespassing the same as stealing?
Oh, I'm sorry, monsieur. I am Madame Petralini. These children are in my circus.
Children? They're monsters.
Oh, your circus. I understand.
So you see, monsieur, when I get a chance, I like to take them into the sunshine and let them play like children. That is what most of them are. Children.
Please, forget what was said, madame. You are welcome to remain. Au revoir. Come, Jean.
Thanks 1,000, monsieur.
1,000 thanks, monsieur.
Not to imply that these people don't deserve compassion and sympathy, but shouldn't they suffer a little bit more before the movie throws its message of tolerance and basic human decency at us? Ah, here we go. When all else fails, pick on the half-man, half-woman.
Have a cigar, Joseph. You dropped your lipstick, Josephine.
Don't get her sore or he'll bust you in the nose.
Oh, casual sexual harassment. You will never be not okay. That little bit of cruelty aside, it should be noted that a lot of the movie is just seeing these people in their everyday lives. We never see them actually perform in any of their acts, which is a good angle to take this movie. We aren't seeing freaks, we're just seeing people. It's also interesting seeing them do their thing and adapting with what they have. This woman was born without arms, so what does she do? She eats with her feet. This guy has no legs, so he runs around on his hands with the same kind of speed and dexterity that anyone else would have. This guy has no limbs whatsoever, and he somehow manages to roll and light a cigarette with only his face. That is impressive. In the midst of all this, the plot continues as Venus, the animal trainer, breaks up with the strongman Hercules, and she gets comforted by Frozzo the clown.
Hey, you're a pretty good kid.
You're darn right I am. You should have caught me before my operation.
Did this movie just make a vasectomy joke? Hercules, now on the rebound, decides to hit things off with Cleopatra. And is it just me, or does this guy look like he could be John Turturro's grandfather?
How many?
Oh, I'm not very hungry. About 6.
How do you like them?
Not bad.
Oh, subtlety, how we miss you. But despite her cavorting with Hercules, Cleopatra continues to string Hans along.
Ouch! What's the matter, Lena? What's the matter?
Oh, I think I sprained my shoulder last night. Give it up, will you? Further. Further. Oh, it's so good to be rubbed.
Our cards, lady.
And why is she so intent on playing with Hans instead of just leaving him alone? Apparently, the little guy comes from a really wealthy family, and he is about to inherit a fortune.
I could marry him. Yes. He would marry me. Midgets are not strong. He could get sick.
And on top of inheriting a great deal of money, apparently Hans can loan hundreds of francs at a time to Cleopatra without any indication that he'll ever get any of it back. If he's really this well off, why is he even in a circus to begin with? So Hans and Cleopatra get married, and suddenly I can't help but wonder why the entire circus isn't there for the wedding party. Apparently these are elitist sideshow freaks. Gotta give some props to Cleopatra too. Marrying a man only a few days after he established himself as being betrothed to another? That skank has some skills. After she drugs Hans's champagne, the other freaks decide to make it official and welcome Cleopatra into their circle.
We'll make her one of us. A loving cup, a loving cup. We accept her, one of us. We accept her, one of us.
Gooba gobble, gooba gobble.
We accept her, we accept her. Google gobble, Google gobble.
Two things about this scene. The director felt more at home with directing silent films than talkies, and this is basically him just poking fun at the talkie medium. Any bit of spoken dialogue to him apparently sounded as meaningful as Google Gobble. Secondly, does this guy holding the cup look familiar to you?
Who run Bartertown?
Yup! He's the master half of Master Blaster. Now, I know that there is a very famous joke out there that some of you may be expecting me to do after I make a reference like that. But, come on guys, can't we just get beyond Thunderdome? Anyway, how does Cleopatra react to becoming one of them?
Get out! You heard her! Get out!
Please, please. You make me ashamed.
Ashamed, you! Oh, holy jumping Christmas! What must I do? Must I play games with you? Must Mama take you horseback ride?
That's it! Horseback ride! Come, come, my little flyback. Mama is going to take you horseback ride.
Oh wow, I'm really going to enjoy watching you die. The circus comes to a halt as Hans suddenly takes ill, and Venus suspects that Cleopatra and Hercules are responsible.
You're crazy.
Yeah? Well, you can't get away with it. I'll tell the coppers.
So, tell on your own people.
My people are decent circus folks. Not dirty rats but would kill a freak to get his money.
Dirty little...
Yeah, I think I'll just be fleeing to Mexico if you need me. A week passes, and Cleopatra continues to, quote, nurse Hans back to health, end quote, but he and his friends are onto her scheme.
Tonight, they will be ready. All right, you come to my wagon. I must hurry now and fix your medicine, my darling, or I will be late. Dirty, slimy freaks.
The circus leaves town later that night, and when Cleopatra gives Hans his medicine again, Hans's friends are less than happy about her bedside manner. Meanwhile, Hercules busts into Venus's wagon since she knows too much, but Frozzo shows up to save the day. And how did he know that Hercules would pull something like this?
You're imagining things.
No. Then I hear Hercules tell Cleo, Venus knows too much.
So why didn't you tell anyone about this before now? They start to fight, but when the storm forces the wagons off the road, the freaks give Hercules and Cleopatra what they have coming.
How she got that way will never be known. Some say a jealous lover. Others, that it was the code of the freaks. Others, the storm. Believe it or not, there she is.
Some of you might be pissing yourselves in shock right now. Don't worry, that's perfectly normal. And so the movie ends with an epilogue with Frida getting back together with Hans, as she comforts him about what happened.
Please, go away. I can see no one. But Hans, you tried to stop them. It was only the poison you wanted. Don't, Hans. Don't cry. I love you. I love you.
And we never see what happens to his fellow performers, but I guess the important thing is that we all know that Hans wasn't involved with... Yeah, that! So that was Freaks, and honestly, you do need to see it for yourselves. Admittedly, some of the dialogue is a bit dated, and that ending just kind of stops the movie without any kind of real resolution, but it's just so fascinating seeing all these sideshow performers gathered in one place and just showing us who they are. And of course, it's always important to remember that no matter what other people might look like, always treat them with respect and compassion. Not only is it just the right thing to do, but you also don't want to piss them off and have unspeakable things happen to you. So yes, do see this movie, and never forget, Gooble gobble, my friends. Gooble gobble. See you next time.
This horse is too slow. We're always this close. Almost, almost. We're a freak show. Right when I'm near. It's like you disappear. Where do you go? I'm stopped in your freak show. When it's all fun.
subscribe, like, follow.